I told you that the most powerful force in the world isn't luck, money, or even talent. It's a ripple. Would you believe me? A few years ago, I wouldn't have believed myself either. But life taught me otherwise. Greetings, everyone. My name is Riddi Viswanathan. I am an educationist and an entrepreneur on a mission to build young change makers. I'm deeply grateful to the Good Shepherd International School and TEDx for this esteemed platform. When we think of a ripple effect, we often imagine a stone dropped into water creating waves. Today, let's move beyond the textbook example and talk about real-life ripples. Because, just like stones, each of us is a force of change. So how can each of us trigger a ripple larger than ourselves? To answer that, let's talk about leadership. How many of you consider yourselves leaders? Please raise your hands. How many of you believe leadership is equivalent to positions and achievements? And how many of you think leaders need to be popular and influential? Here's the truth. Every single one of us is a leader, whether you raise your hand or not. Don't get me wrong. I am not here to motivate you. I am here to share a simple approach that will help you stand out as a leader and create a ripple larger than yourself. This approach has enabled me to trigger a ripple effect, positively impacting over 500,000 students by driving national-level policy change in the UK. This approach has worked with absolute consistency, empowering the students I mentor to secure their dream college admissions and jobs by positioning themselves to stand out as leaders. So what's this life-changing approach? Let me share it through my personal story. Like many of you, I dreamed of studying at a top UK university. I worked tirelessly thinking I was ready. But the universe had other plans. My grades fell short, offers were on hold, visa delayed, and I missed my orientation week, the one key week to make friends. Despite everything, I made it to the University of Manchester. And to beat FOMO, I joined every society, volunteered everywhere, and built what I thought was a strong CV. And then, summer internships arrived. And I failed. Not once, not twice. 50 plus applications. 0 offers. One night, defeated, exhausted, I FaceTimed my parents. After consoling me, they didn't ask what went wrong. They asked what were the people who succeeded doing differently. And that question haunted me. I looked around and noticed the difference wasn't the grades, titles, or even awards. It was leadership. The successful ones were change makers creating a difference around them. And that was a light bulb moment which led to my life-altering question: how can I make a difference? I started small. Inspired by missing my orientation, I organized a reorientation event for late arriving international students. We expected 10, but 100 showed up. Trust me, we weren't giving away any free pizzas. I shared the success of this event online. The university noticed, and they even invited me to work as a student ambassador. Wow, this approach worked. But was it coincidence? I had a strong CV after all. I needed confidence. So I decided to test this approach again. This time with internships. I noticed that many international students like me were lost when it came to employability. So I started organizing a few workshops with a career support team, inviting employers to educate students about the professional world. One employer noticed my impact, fast-tracked my application, and that's how I ended up securing my dream marketing internship at a top London firm. And this time, the question grew bigger. How can I make a bigger difference? And that's when I did something that terrifies me to date. I ran for my student union elections. My heart raced and my hands shook when I saw my opponents with lakhs of Instagram followers. Yet, I ran. And I won, becoming the first Indian and international student to lead 40,000 students in the UK. I didn't have privilege or popularity, but I had purpose to make a difference for international students. In that role, I kept hearing the same fear. What happens after we graduate? So with the support of student leaders from Scotland and London, I co-led a campaign to reintroduce post-study work visas. So international students got extra time to look for jobs. Within months, our awareness sessions and social media campaigns amplified our voices far beyond the university. A conversation that started in our classroom reached the BBC, the Times, and the Guardian. They wanted to interview me to ensure student voices were heard with authenticity. The ripple continued. I was invited to the British and European parliaments, not as a policymaker, but a student asking for a better future. And then came a moment I never imagined. Meeting the British Prime Minister to speak on behalf of the issues faced by millions of students. I remember thinking, how did a question as simple as how can I make a difference bring me here? From helping a few students to a ripple-shaping national policy. Social scientist Malcolm Gladwell, in his book, The Tipping Point, published in 2000, explains that small actions by the right people at the right time can trigger exponential change. He calls them mavens, connectors, salesmen, the agents of change who influence not through a title, but through the difference they create. And that is the essence of a ripple and its power. This isn't just my story. Greta Thunberg started with one student strike. Malala Yousafzai began by advocating for education in her village. Both triggered global ripples by asking, how can I make a difference? After my student movement, I pursued education at the University of Oxford, once again asking the magic question: how can I make a difference for students globally? The answer became an education technology startup I founded, Generation Purple, which empowers students with career and character education. My journey affirms that the simplest yet the most powerful approach to leadership and creating a ripple larger than yourself is to ask the simple question, can we all say it together? How can I make a difference? So when I said earlier that we're all leaders, I meant it. If you've made a difference to even one person or solved even one problem, you have led, you have created a ripple. So the next time someone asks you about leadership, trust me, you'll be asked a lot in college applications, job interviews, or in life. Before answering, what positions did I hold? Try answering, how did I make a difference? Because the answer to that question is what sets you apart as a leader and the creator of a ripple that lasts. Thank you.